What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Thanks for tuning in. Today in this video, guys, we are going to talk about UMI. Alright, so guys, we're going to show you guys the importance of UMI and what you guys can do and how to use the protocol. This will be a step-by-step guide, and it'll also talk a little bit about the upcoming, well actually ongoing right now, incentivized testnet. You guys know what incentivize means. Yeah, something like that. But anyways, what is UMI? Well, UMI, they claim the simplest way to start your DeFi experience with staking, rates, and interop. Just a bunch of jibber jabber, but TLDR is a cross-chain borrowing and lending protocol. What do I mean by this? Well, basically what it means is you can deposit tokens from Ethereum, borrow them on Cosmos, borrow them on UMI. With IBC, the options are limitless. So you can literally borrow on any of the other chains that are interoperable with IBC. And of course, you can bridge it over from Ethereum. I'll show you guys how to do that later in this video as well. If you guys want to learn more about this protocol and see some of their investors, you guys can obviously check out their main website. I'll leave a link in the description below, and you guys can jump in their Discord. I'm going to shrink my face a bit so you guys can see what's happening on the screen. So you can see Polychain Capital, Coinbase Ventures, Alameda. Look at Coinbase Ventures. What do you think that's a hint at? Do you think Coinbase could allow cross-chain borrowing and lending for their DeFi dApp for newer users? I don't know. Time will tell. We'll see what happens, but just keep that on your radar. Let's go ahead and show you guys how to use UMI. So the first thing you guys need to do is you need to get some tokens. If you guys are on a Keplr wallet, great. If you don't have a Keplr wallet, go ahead and install one of these wallets. This is the Keplr extension wallet. This address that you get right here, this is going to be your testnet address. This is not my main Cosmos address. This is going to be my testnet Cosmos address. And if you don't see it, that's okay. Just click connected wallets and automatically will connect you and get it. Yes, the testnet wallet address is the same as the actual wallet address, but you don't pull it up under the same subsection. So what I mean by this is you have a Atom address down here, and then you have the Cosmos Hub address. So they're actually two different ones. This is going to be your testnet. It'll be at the bottom, just so you guys can keep that in mind when you're looking for it and you notice you don't have any tokens. The UI with Keplr, you really don't even have to worry about it. It automatically does it for you on the back end. But just so you understand, copy this address and come over to the Discord. If you look in the Discord, you can see they have a Atom faucet and a UMI faucet. We're going to first start with the Atom tokens. You're going to do ! faucet, and then you're going to paste your address. Make sure you do a space between the faucet. I've already claimed for today, so I can't get any tokens. So instead, we just got to go about it with what we have. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to say, okay, I need to get some tokens on the supply side. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over to supply. Now there's a section that says Atom, and first I notice, oh wait, I don't have any Atom on the UMI chain. So what I need to do is I need to go to the dashboard and I need to have my wallets connected. I'm going to go ahead and connect my Ethereum wallet. Once that's done, I have all three wallets connected, my UMI, my Atom, and my Ethereum, which is not actually the ETH chain. You got to go on Goleary. So if you don't have any tokens to this, make sure you guys use the Goleary faucet. As you guys can see here, this is the Goleary chain I was talking about right here, Goleary test network. So if you scroll through all these networks, the one that you need is Goleary. You can get these faucet tokens in the link in the description below. It'll be the faucet where you can just get some Ethereum for gas fees. So right now I need to get some Cosmos. I have some over here already, but let's just act like I didn't have any in general. What I need to do is I need to go to the markets. Now I've already got my testnet Atom tokens. These are on the main Atom chain. Same thing with UMI. I've already gotten those with the faucet. As you guys can see here, this is the UMI faucet. You literally paste your address, do the same process. What I'm going to do is I'm going to bridge my tokens via IBC because they're on Cosmos. Remember, it's Cosmos' IBC. So right now I have 0.5. So let's just do 50% of them just for this example. So I'm going to hit this transaction and I'm going to say, all right, cool. Let's go ahead and approve this transaction. The transaction now goes through, and now I'm waiting on the main IBC chain to be able to confirm, and let's see if my tokens show up. Okay, so now the transaction confirmed, it went through, and now we have some tokens on the Atom Cosmos side. You can bridge over some UMI tokens if you want. Right now, I have some in my wallet. So let's just say I'll go ahead and do 45 of or 0.45 tokens into this side. So let's go ahead and approve this transaction. This will bridge this over to the Ethereum. So it was included in next block. Boom, we're done. Bridging in process. This may take a minute. So while that's doing its thing, we're going to actually go over to the supply markets. I now have some Cosmos tokens and I'm ready to go. I have already supplied some, so it's as simple as doing a transaction of saying max and supplying all the tokens there. And you automatically get a supply APY. So now that I supplied the tokens, what I can do is I can go over to this section and I can say borrow. I can borrow any asset I want. If I want to borrow DAI, I can do that. If I want to borrow USDC, I can do that. USDT, I can do that. Keep in mind, there is such thing as being liquidated. If you guys are borrowing a stable coin, and say you're borrowing to the maximum percent, and say the Cosmos collateral ratio is 80%. So this is basically saying if I lend out $10 worth of Cosmos, I can borrow $8 worth of a stable coin or Cosmos tokens. If you guys want to prevent liquidations, you can borrow Atom tokens. Now there is a problem when you borrow Atom on this platform. Because if you borrow the Atom, you're going to have to pay 179%. It seems like this is what everyone's doing. They're looping in the system. Right now, they're actually paying to loop. So I don't know if that's the best strategy. But again, you also do avoid the liquidations, because if you're lending the same asset you're borrowing, then at the same time, they go up and down. So the only way to be liquidated is if there is if you borrow to like literally the maximum. The supply APY and borrow APY are going to be the price fluctuations. What do I mean by this? Well, let's say, for example, my borrow APY is 2% and I borrow $100. What this means is at the end of the year, I'm going to have to owe back, like pay them back $102. So that small little price fluctuation, I've actually lent out $100 and I borrowed $102. If you're using that type of example, that is the price difference I'm talking about. Even though they are the same asset, you still have to factor in that the APRs and APYs will create a difference on the supply and borrow side. So I'm going to borrow some stable coins. I'm going to go ahead and enable this. This is going to be on the Ethereum network where I go ahead and enable this. Now, this is just an example. This is just a test net. This is not only going to be on Ethereum, but the same concept applies. So you'll be able to borrow and lend on multiple chains. So you'll be able to choose the chain you want to borrow and lend on. So say, for example, you're on Cosmos and you want to get some tokens on Ethereum. What you can do is you can lend out your Cosmos coin and then you can borrow the tokens on Ethereum. And at any time, you can come back to this protocol, repay your stable coins and get your Cosmos tokens back. That is the power of this platform, just so you guys can understand why this is amazing. Nobody likes bridges. I hate going across the bridge, especially when it's congested. I send my transaction, and when it's congested, I have to wait 2 days to finally get my tokens. And then by the time I'm liquidated, my funds clear up, and I'm like, bro, now I got to bridge them back. And then when I go to bridge them back, it's another 2-day process because apparently the bridge is congested. So then I'm just like, you know what? I give up. I'm done. But yeah, just so you guys can get it. So I just borrowed some DAI. I enabled to borrow DAI. So now I'm going to borrow some DAI. If I do max, I can get quickly liquidated. As you can see, my borrow position $16.16 and my borrow limit use is 68%. Now I'm pretty sure Cosmos is about 70. I'll show you guys later in this video. But let's just do $12 just for this case scenario. And I can loop this as many times as I want. I'm just keeping on the safe side just in case. But I'm going to go ahead and lend the tokens that I borrow. That way, because I'm borrowing $12 worth of DAI and I'm also lending it, they're actually going to be the same price movements. So technically, there isn't a chance of liquidation, but yet there is a chance of liquidation because remember, you can't borrow 100% of your Cosmos. So that's something you need to keep in mind. So still keep your health factor in range, but if you're lending out what you borrow, you can get a little more risky, but keep in mind, you can get quickly liquidated. So I borrowed my DAI tokens. Now I'm going to go ahead and supply these tokens now. because I want to keep a healthy health factor. So I'm going to hit supply. There's also a faucet for dye, so you guys can get some more dye, but we're just going to use this example and show you guys how to supply. If you guys want to, while that transaction is going through, if you guys want to go to the faucet, you guys can go here, you click faucet, and you can get some tokens. So I'm going to go ahead and get some dye, I'm going to get some USDC, and I'm also going to get some USDT. But something else to keep in mind with this protocol itself, how the incentivized testnet is working is your goal is to get this TVL. If you go to the dashboard, you want your total supply as high as possible, but yet not get liquidated. As you can see, I just lent back my DAI tokens on the supply side, and now I'm below 80%. I'll show you guys later how this fluctuates, but right now let's go ahead and get some USDC and USDT tokens. So we're going to enable all of these so we can go ahead and get these jokers. And we're also going to use their faucet just cause. So we can get some more tokens, man. We got a juice of rewards. So let's go ahead and get the USDC faucet and get this rolling. This may take a bit of time depending on how the transaction goes through. You know how Ethereum is. Sometimes it's slow. But we're going to go ahead and get these. Of course, I only get to mint 2 USDC, so I'm as happy as bonkers, right? It's $2. Woo! This is fun. So the goal is to, well, with the incentivized testnet, your goal is to get this as high as possible, to have your TVL as high as possible, and you're basically competing with some other people. It's a lot of fun. So we're going to enable all this as collateral too. Well, actually, I got to supply it, so that's not going to matter. Maybe I can get some more in the faucet. No, I'm just kidding, guys. Mint, only one time per day. It's the same thing in the Discord and the faucets and whatnot. If you guys are using multiple wallets to try to game the system, it don't work. Don't do that. I'm going to save you the trouble. No, don't do it. It's not worth all the time and effort in order to do that. And even so, if the team catches you, it's going to be like, bruh, come on. You weren't even playing by the rules. I mean, dude, somehow you got $1 million in TVL and Johnny Buddy over here only got $50,000. I mean, something sounds fishy. Let me go ahead and check out their transactions because it's on the blockchain. Oh, wait. Where are they getting these random testnet tokens being sent in from some random wallet? It must be their friends. Yeah, their friends are probably just like, yeah, they want them to win so much. Don't do it. All right, so now we're going to go to the dashboard and we're going to go ahead and supply some tokens. We minted some, well, actually the DAI didn't come through. So we're actually going to do the USDC. So let's supply some USDC. We're going to do max. We're going to say boom, supply. And you can do this each and every day. This incentivized testnet, they did extend it. It's actually going to be going on till the 24th. The reason why it's important to play around with this, not only because you're getting tokens. Yeah, that's cool and all, like incentivized testnet. It's also a good way to learn how to use this with some play money so you won't get wrecked, or at least have a lower chance of getting wrecked when you're actually playing with real money. So we just supplied those 2 assets, and I really want to show you this on the market side, or on the dashboard side. This is a really cool way that they have this laid out. I really like the UI of this. It's clean, it's neat, it's similar to Aave, and it's easy to use. It's all in one. So now I can literally come over here and borrow as much as I want. I'm going to max it out because I know I'm just going to go ahead and lend this back, so I'm cool with it. So I'm going to say, let me get the maximum amount of DAI possible because I want the DAI. I'm going to confirm, I'm borrowing, and now I'm going to go back to the dashboard. Once that clears through, you guys are going to see this health ticker go like way up. Just be careful because if you're keeping it at 80%, this is like no bueno. This means wrecked, liquidation, game over, start over. Sorry, you lose. You don't want that. When you lose, it's game over. You can't keep playing the game. So we're going to stay on this screen, and I'm actually not going to cut this part. I'm going to let you guys see what it looks like. So let's just wait. We're going to stare at each other. And we get a nice booster. We're at, what is that, like 78%? Or no, that's like 68%. So, you know what? I'm going to push the limit. I'm going to do like max to get liquidated. No, I'm just kidding. It's not going to let you do that. At least they make you do a buffer. But if I just sit here and wait, and let's say, for example, the Cosmos price just completely and utterly tanks, I'm going to get liquidated because it's going to hit that 80% and it's going to be like, bruh, you got liquidated. Johnny Evans got your tokens for cheap. So we're not going to do that. We're going to say, hey, I'm going to supply all my DAI in order to combat against that so that don't happen. So let's go ahead and say supply. All right, so we just supplied those tokens. We have a bunch of different assets going on this. We're mainly just borrowing DAI. You can mix up the stable coins too if you want. That way you can have some fun with it, and if they're having different ratios. Because if you go to the markets, you guys can see here, USDT is actually a little more pricey. So you can actually save some money borrowing DAI and USDC. But it's up to you what you want to do. So now that that's done, as you can see here, there are no buttons right now for a bridge and IBC. I'm sure in the future when the actual UMI protocol launches, that's not just a test net, it will have those options available. So that way you can bring those tokens elsewhere. So like right now, let's say for example, I did borrow Cosmos. I can literally withdraw this. So if I went to borrow some Cosmos, I can say, hey, I want to borrow some Cosmos tokens. Let's go ahead and say, let's do 50% because we got to be healthy. We got to eat our green beans and not die of old age. So we're going to go ahead and say, all right, I'm going to borrow some Cosmos and I'm actually going to bring this back out into the IBC world. We're going to show you the dashboard while that transaction is clearing. But if you guys remember, when I redeposited that DAI I just borrowed, notice how my health factor went down. The total amount I borrowed, I went ahead and put it on the supply side. In doing so, since I borrowed $27.24 and I lent $27.24, this will keep a healthy collateralization ratio. So that way there is still a chance of getting liquidated, but it's much lower. So now I just borrowed more Cosmos. You saw my health factor go way up. I just wanted to show you guys this portion. I can literally take my Cosmos coins I just borrowed and I can bring them from UMI to the Cosmos Hub. So keep in mind, I'm on the UMI section right now. I need to go to Cosmos to withdraw them to Cosmos. So I'm going to say max. I'm going to withdraw my maximum amount of Cosmos tokens from UMI to Cosmos. This will be a transaction paid in UMI, as you guys can see here, and I'm going to hit approve. So this will actually withdraw my transactions to Cosmos. So now they're actually in Cosmos. So look, check it out. Gone. Cosmos chain. Well, I guess I got some more. Cool. So now you guys understand that portion. You guys can actually check in your wallet as well. It's not just on the screen, and you guys can see that it shows up here. Boom, bang, done. Now, if I wanted to, if I had my UMI tokens back in here, so let's go ahead and withdraw them back in here. We're going to go ahead and transfer all of them from Cosmos to UMI. So we're going to say all. Probably won't go through because I did the maximum amount, but we'll see. I'll probably just get wrecked. And no, actually the transaction went through. So my full entire wallet was like depleted. But that's okay. I can always withdraw from UMI back to Cosmos. So have some fun. Now, my Cosmos is on UMI. So if I wanted to withdraw this to Ethereum, I can actually do this by withdrawing straight to Ethereum. So I've actually already done this on the backside. I have some tokens that are currently on my Ethereum wallet, and I'm going to go ahead and withdraw them and bring them back into the house. So this is from Ethereum. I'm going to go ahead and bring it back to UMI. So we're going to say, all right, let's go ahead and confirm this Ethereum transaction and get us back on UMI. Well, actually, we got to confirm to give permission. So I'm going to go ahead and confirm this transaction as it was approved to. So we're going to go ahead and withdraw that in. Let me go ahead and explain to you what's happening on the back end. Right now, you can look at UMI like this. This is your main settlement layer. This is where you can borrow, lend, and do all your junk here. And you can import your tokens from other chains. So this is going to be your lending protocol that you're using. You do everything on the UMI chain. And once you get your tokens and junk here, you can send them out to the specified chain that you want to. It's literally a click of a button to go from IBC if you're going to Cosmos or Bridge if you're going to Ethereum. So that's how you can look at UMI and how you can play around with the incentivized testnet. Now there are going to be some other options as well. When you're getting your UMI tokens, you can actually come over here and stake and vote with them. You can't really see the stake button because this is locked right now, so this isn't happening, and the same thing with the vote. This is just an example of the protocol so you guys can see what's going on. I hope this demo helped. I hope you guys understand how to use the incentivized testnet and have some fun with the UMI protocol. Now, how can you get more testnet tokens? Well, your goal, the name of the game, is to get this total supplied as high as possible without being the you-know-what, the guy who makes like 400 different wallets and tries to game the system. Play it in a fair way. It's supposed to be fun, it's supposed to be enjoyable, and it's supposed to be a test net that you can play around with. Thanks for tuning in, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. As always, we're going to leave you guys with a wisdom one-liner. Alright guys, we're in Proverbs chapter 19, verses 11. A person's wisdom yields patience. It is to one's glory to overlook an offense. Be patient. That's how you be wise. You guys can also catch me on tweeters at rentahomefast, like literally at rentahomefast.